And welcome back to Let's Play Metroid Prime. Last time we got the Ice Beam after a lot of derping around, but we finally got it. So this time we're actually heading into another area of the Phendrana Drifts. Now we could have gone a little bit further into that one area in the town overworld, but we would have hit a dead end really fast, so I decided to just go ahead and get the next major power-up before trying to explore the town overworld any further. This music is weird. I'm not really a fan. It just doesn't seem like it fits Metroid very well. I have no clue what's in here, by the way. Apparently that's a shortcut back up. This is like a weird, like, techno remix of the, other Phendrana Drifts song, I think. Where the heck am I? Okay, this is not where I expected this to connect. So I guess you can go either way, either to the ice store and the facility, or to the ice store behind where the where Thardis was. Both work. I did not know this was connected. One thing to point out, unlike Castlevania, your completion percentage is not based on percentage of map explored. So we don't have to go into every room, I don't think, and I don't think speedrunners even do. Like in Metroid Prime, or I mean like in Super Metroid, I think they do skip a few rooms. Fun fact, there's one room in Metroid Prime, Super Metroid. I don't know why I know this, but yeah, this is one room in Super Metroid that's literally referred to by speedrunners because they named every room for easy referral. It's literally called by speedrunners the worst room in the game. That's what they always call it, which I find really hilarious. I should have scanned that too. My bad. Again, I can't remember to scan anything in this game. I can't remember to scan anything in Vesperia either. So lock on this and dislodge and a stalag something, some kind of stalag. There's actually another one up there, but it's hard to see from here. Where was it? You might not be able to hit it yet. Also, those these things, we can actually use the grapple beam on them. Assuming we had the grapple beam, which we do not. So this is a room we're gonna have to backtrack to a little bit later. Wasn't there another stalactite? There. Okay, so both doors are now accessible, which is good. I'm pretty sure one interesting gimmick of the beam design. Hello, save point. Not sure why you're here of all places. Wait, what? Phase-on ranges? That does not sound good. Yeah, Metroids don't like cold, by the way. Fun fact about them. They really do not like cold. And wait a second. Wait a second, can I get that now? Oh, this is ice. Oh, so guess we gotta break the ice, huh? Can't do that because we don't have the heat beam. Also, I should have made note of the fact that there was an energy tank I ran right by because, again, it was behind ice. We can't melt that at the present time. So we just have to keep moving. Oh, giddy, space pirates. We are actually nearing the end of the game, by the way, if you're counting just pure story progression. We only have like one really complicated big area left. But I vaguely recall there not being too much more beyond what am I trying to say? Beyond this point in the game. Oh, hello, enemy. Scan you, I guess. You have to shoot them when their like core opens up. Just kind of like charge up. And wait for it, and then shoot them. They're pretty easy to take out. They don't have much health, but they can be annoying because they also disrupt your vision somewhat. I don't know how an electric enemy can survive underwater. Doesn't really make sense. Now, one complaint I do have is that some of these little tunnels are a little bit samey. Visually, from a visual design standpoint. It is kind of samey at times, and it gets a little bit repetitive. I kind of wish, I mean, you know, I had to stop and think, am I in a new place? It's, you know, okay to, like, have tunnels connecting areas, but I feel like they should not all look the same. Long story short. Got a grapple point there that we can't interact with yet. We actually haven't scanned one yet, I don't think. I don't think we can get into the logbook until we get the actual grapple beam though, which hopefully won't be too much longer. I hope. Which room? Whoops. Interesting sound effect. There's a lot of water. Oh. I am actually stuck. Well, that was... This game does have weird hit detection sometimes, so yeah. I've gotten stuck a couple times off screen as well, so yeah, it's just something this game has an issue with occasionally. Trying to see how many regular shots that takes. A lot. To go through here, we hit another door. It's funny, even if you shoot the door at a distance, you still have to actually wait for it to open closer to you. This is called the gravity chamber. I wonder what item we'll be getting here. This is an aqua reaper. Yeah, let's not go down there, shall we? Avoid that. Looks like we have to jump down there. Fortunately. Is there another way? Can actually shoot the arms, the tentacles technically. And there's this guy in the mid. Oh, they come back fast. Okie dokie. Let's just avoid them, shall we? Yeah, that sounds like a plan. Now this music does not fit this area, if you ask me. It sounds really out of place. This is coming from someone who actually really likes the soundtrack of this game. Hello. And we finally have the fabled gravity suit, which, okay, so we have more concept art to unlock. So this has two effects. One, you can actually move freely underwater, which is obviously the bigger of the two effects, and the other major effect is you can actually see a lot more clearly in the water. So both are super helpful. We can now actually do a lot more exploring with this and the ice beam. Again, since we were getting our next power up so soon, I kind of was like, you know what, let's just take care of this now. There's another door up there, but there's also all those other doors. But some of them we need the grapple beam, so let's just go this way. I don't think the ice can break from you like walking on it, so that's good. Drones. I don't know which beam is more effective. Both seem to be taken out and seem to take about 2 charge shots, so they seem to be about the same. Same level of effectiveness. Back in this room now, where we can actually reach this door. I almost just jumped off the ledge. That would have been really, really terrible. Yeah, water navigation's a breeze now. Thank goodness, because it's kind of bad otherwise. I feel like I've missed so many power-ups though. What I'm probably going to do And this feels like a little bit like overkill, because I already have like another video uploading every day. But I'm actually highly considering making the actual collection of power-ups into a separate bonus video itself. Just to be more time efficient, because it's gonna take a long time actually backtracking through all these areas getting power-ups. So again, what I might just do is collect everything for a bonus video and upload the actual finale first, and then just put all the power-ups in a separate video instead of being part of the main LP. I'll show all the artifacts on screen, and we'll get hopefully most of the power-ups we missed just during that path. But I feel like anything else anything extra that I end up missing, I would be better off just trying to where does this go? Back more caverns. Huh. I think where we need to go next is actually like Talon Overworld, so that doesn't really help us. What else? Yeah, because I just don't feel like it's super efficient just having like a million videos in the main playthrough of just collectibles. You know, the stuff that I get while trying to find all the artifacts, those are important obviously, but otherwise just every missile tank is not like critical to show in the main LP, and also being able to like cut quickly for the bonus video would make it a lot easier. So yeah, back to Magmore Caverns. We only have one beam, by the way, this one. And we only have one more visor, I think, which is this one. I don't know, I like the look of this costume. It's got an interesting color palette, for sure. Fun fact, actually, about Metroid that I haven't actually brought up. I should brought it up when I got the Varia suit. It is often believed that Varia is actually a mistranslation, and the actual name would be closer to a barrier suit. Fun fact. And another fun fact, it's often believed... Okay, save point. Good to know. It's also often believed that the, I think this was actually confirmed by the actual developers, that the reason for the fact that the Varia suit and the, regular suit look different because of the different shoulder pads is actually because of Metroid 2. In the original Metroid, I think Samus just changed color palettes in a very limited sense. I think she turns pink or something in the original NES game. Oh yeah, I can go over there now. But in the Game Boy game, this was actually a Game Boy original, so that meant that they couldn't actually implement color. Yeah, they didn't have any color to work with in that case, so they ended up using the different sprite with the larger shoulder pads to represent the Varia suit in order to differentiate the two designs. Because otherwise, in a black and white game, the original just swapping a color palette, it's gonna look the same no matter what. The gravity suit, which was introduced in Super Metroid, is just like a purple and blue kind of recoloring of the Varia suit, but that was also made in the game that had color, so they didn't actually need to worry about things like that. So there's these two platforms here, but we need the grapple beam. So yeah, we basically just need to find the grapple beam and the thing that can open the red doors, and also the super bombs, which are a staple of the series, and then or power bombs technically, and then we're pretty much set to explore everywhere. Oh yeah, the last two visors, but like the X-ray visor, I guess I might as well go ahead and say it, really doesn't come in handy too often, just for certain things. It's good for finding hidden walls and stuff, but it's one of those things where your mileage will vary a lot. It'll vary a lot from person to person how useful it is. Also, the changing visors is actually a staple of the series, but never actually have the I don't think you use the heat visor ever again. If I'm not mistaken, they have different visors in Metroid Prime 2 at something. But yeah, they functionally are kind of similar to the ones we have in this game, but they are slightly different, if I'm not completely forgetting. In 3, I don't know if that had visors. I think it didn't. No, wait, it does. It has a scan visor, but I don't remember if there's anything beyond that. There is no changing beams, though. I know that much from Metroid Prime 3. Beams stack, like in classic Metroids, because the Wii does not have that many buttons. And I wish it was more complicated than that, but that's legitimately the reason. Where's this? Town Overworld West. Guess that works. West. I'm trying to think. Because there's all those transport tunnels going through the Chozo Ruins that goes directly to the ship, which is where we need to go next. I wonder if it'd be better to use those. In any case, what was I saying? Oh yeah, 3 has a new mode called Hyper Mode, which basically supercharges you, but also has the potential to kill you. And that is on the same button as in this version, the changing visors. So yes, you do not change visors, or you don't change weapons in Metroid Prime 3. You only have Hyper Mode on the plus button instead. This game needs a remake on a console with more buttons. Even a Switch version that was based on this console would be a huge improvement, because fun fact, the Joy-Cons can actually be used for aiming, a la Skyward Sword, where it's not actually just the actual pointer, but you're basically using motion controls to control a pointer. And you know, like in Skyward Sword, it's not the best thing in the world, but it's a pretty decent alternative, I hear, for like World of Goo, which was released on Switch. But the main benefit of having a game like that on Switch is you could have more buttons to work with. And more buttons to work with means less just like fumbling around with all these buttons that we have. And they're feeling like it's a little bit overly convoluted arrangement. Like 1, which is at the bottom of the controller, that's your map button, and 2 is your menu button. And it doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't feel as natural, I guess? It feels a little bit awkward hitting 1 and 2 when you want to see the map. I actually don't quite understand the applications of the 2 buttons. I mean, the 1 and 2 buttons are good ideas for like side-scrollers where you actually need more buttons, but I actually am not really a fan of needing to use the 1 and 2 buttons in a core gameplay kind of sense. I think Skyward Sword or like Twilight Princess was just like toggling a map, so it wasn't like a big deal, but this game where like actual menu features or actually access to it, it's a little bit clunky actually. At least you don't have to ever use the 1 and 2 buttons in this game in sort of frantic settings. It's always in more relaxed settings. Yeah, we can just grapple across once we get that move, but for now, because we have the gravity seed, we can actually jump up and to the ship. Little cavern, not sure what that's for. Fun. Actually, I don't know how to get up on... Oh wait, I just did. Never mind. I was gonna say I don't know how to get up on that ledge, but I did as I was saying. which is kind of typical, isn't it? So we got all these little winding tunnels, and we are now in the frigate Orpheon, if I'm not mistaken. But we're gonna explore this next time, so thank you for watching, and I hope you join me next time for more Metroid Prime.